Hey everyone, this is Ryan, and welcome back to Unlocked English, the podcast where we make English simple, natural, and part of your daily life. Today, we're talking about something every English learner thinks about. Do I really need grammar to speak English? It's a big question, right? Some teachers say grammar is everything. Others say you don't need it at all. Just speak and don't care about mistakes. So, who's right? Well, today we're going to unlock the truth. We'll talk about why grammar feels so difficult. What happens if you ignore grammar completely? How much grammar you actually need? And the best way to learn grammar naturally without feeling bored. So sit back, relax, maybe grab your coffee or tea, and let's dive in. So, the main question is why people focus too much on grammar. Let's be honest. When most people start learning English, the first thing they learn is grammar. Tenses, rules, exceptions, more rules, and then even more exceptions. You spend hours studying when to use have been, had been, was, or has been. And in the end, you still feel nervous when you try to speak. Why does this happen? Because most schools teach grammar as the main part of language. They test you on grammar, not on communication. So you end up knowing all the rules. But when it's time to actually talk to someone, your mind goes blank. You think, wait, should I say I go or I went? Is it I have seen or I saw? And while you're busy thinking about the rules, the conversation moves on. Here is the truth. Grammar is not the problem. The problem is how we use it. If grammar becomes your main focus, you'll always sound like a student. If grammar becomes your tool, you will start sounding natural. What happens when you ignore grammar completely? Now, some people hear that and go to the other extreme. They say, forget grammar. I'll just speak like a child and people will understand me. Well, not exactly. Yes, communication is the goal, but without any grammar, you can't always be clear. Let's look at an example. If you say, yesterday I go to park, people will understand, but it sounds wrong. If you say, I went to the park yesterday, it's clear, natural, and correct. So grammar is like a map. It helps you find your way when you speak or write. But you don't need to look at the map every 5 seconds. That would stop you from moving forward. In other words, grammar is helpful, but only when it's not your boss. You're the driver. Grammar is the GPS. It gives you direction, but you decide where to go. So, what's the right balance? You need enough grammar to build sentences correctly, but you don't need perfect grammar to speak fluently. Think about driving a car. When you start, you need to learn the rules. Stop signs, lights, when to turn. But once you practice enough, you don't think about them. You just drive. English is exactly like that. At the beginning, grammar rules helps you understand how the language works. But after a while, you should stop thinking and start feeling the language. You should speak and write automatically. So, grammar is a tool, not a target. Here is one of my favorite lines. Grammar should help you speak, not to stop you from speaking. That's the balance you want to find. How to learn grammar naturally. Now let's talk about how you can actually learn grammar in a simple and natural way. Forget memorizing rules from textbooks. Let's talk about real methods that actually work. Number 1. Learn from context, not from rules. Instead of studying a grammar chart, watch a short video or read a short text. Pay attention to how sentences are built. For example, when you hear someone say, "I've been waiting for you," don't just think, "Oh, that's present perfect continuous." Think, "Okay, that means I started waiting in the past and I'm still waiting now." Now you understand it naturally. You learned it from context, not from grammar books. Number 2, notice patterns. When you listen to English, start noticing how words go together. For example, I'm going to, actually used for future plans. I've just, used for recent actions. It's kind of, used for soft opinions. You'll hear these patterns over and over. That's grammar in real life. The more you notice them, the more your brain remembers them automatically. Number 3, use it immediately. Every time you learn a new grammar point, make your own examples right away. Let's say you just learned the difference between since and for. Use it immediately. I've lived here for 5 years. I've known her since 2018. Don't wait. Use it the same day. That's how you turn knowledge into fluency. Number 4, don't study too much at once. You don't need to learn 10 grammar rules a week. Focus on one structure and master it. For example, spend 1 week using present perfect in your daily life. Every time you speak, try to use it naturally. Slow learning is a strong learning. Okay, now let's break some myths. Myth number 1. You must speak perfectly before talking to others. It's false. You learn to speak by speaking, not by waiting for perfection. Myth number 2. Grammar is the most important part of English. False. Communication is the most important part. Grammar is just one piece of it. Myth number 3. Native speakers never make grammar mistakes. False. Even native speakers say things like "me and my friend went" instead of "my friend and I went." They care about communication, not perfection. Myth number 4. Studying grammar makes you fluent. Studying grammar helps you understand English, but fluency comes from using English. So, stop worrying about sounding perfect. Start focusing on being understood. Let's talk about the real reason people obsess over grammar. Fear. Most learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think, if I say it wrong, people will laugh at me, or my teacher will correct me. But let me tell you something important. Nobody becomes fluent without making mistakes. In fact, your mistakes are your best teacher. When a child learns to walk, they fall hundreds of times, but they don't stop. They just keep walking. Language learning is the same. So instead of saying, I made a mistake, say, I learned something new. Let's imagine two students. Student A knows all the grammar rules. He can explain the difference between present perfect and past perfect perfectly. But when someone asks, how are you? He freezes. He's scared of saying something wrong. Student B doesn't know all the rules. He sometimes says he go instead of he goes. But he smiles, he talks, he connects. Who will improve faster? Of course, student B, every single time. Because language is not about showing what you know, it's about connecting with people. Here are a few easy steps you can start today. Tip number 1. When you learn a new grammar rule, make 3 real sentences with it. For example, I will go, I will call you, I will be there. Tip number 2. Record your voice using that structure. Speak for 1 minute, listen back, notice how it sounds. Tip number 3. Listen to native speakers and notice grammar in their speech. Don't study it, just notice. Tip number 4. Don't correct every mistake. Focus only on mistakes that change meaning. Tip number 5. Keep grammar small and daily. 10 minutes of practice every day is better than 2 hours once a week. I want to end the episode by changing how you think about grammar. Grammar is not your enemy. Grammar is your friend, but it's a quiet friend. It helps you, but it shouldn't control you. Think of grammar like training wheels on a bicycle. They help you in the beginning, but one day you take them off and just ride. When you stop worrying about grammar, you start speaking freely. When you start speaking freely, your grammar naturally improves. It's a beautiful cycle. So the next time you think, I can't speak because my grammar isn't perfect, remember this. Grammar builds the road, but practice drives the car. You don't need a perfect road to start the journey. You just need to move forward. Thanks for listening to Unlocked English. I'm Ryan, and I hope today's episode helped you see grammar in a new way, not as a problem, but as a tool. Remember, you don't need perfect grammar to speak English. You just need the courage to communicate. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast, share it with your friends, and leave a comment telling me, do you think grammar is necessary to speak English fluently? You can also find Unlocked English on YouTube for daily English shadowing and real-life practice. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep unlocking your English. Bye for now.